This video was requested by viewers. They wanted to know how to splice into their electrical system for the ceiling lights in their camper van. It's very simple to do, and hopefully this will help you out. First off, I'm using 16 gauge extension cord for this demonstration. 16 gauge wire is probably good enough because these LED lights do not pull that much current. And one of the nice things about these is that you can get them in different colors. I've got this dark green one. I could run all my ceiling lighting with dark green. I could run all my cabinet lighting with white. That way in the future, if I had a problem, it would be easy to trace the problem down. Now, if you cut into one of these extension cords like I've done and peeled it back, you would discover that inside there are 3 wires. We only need 2 of these wires because we only need 2 conductors for 12 volts, a positive and negative. Now, the key to doing this and making it easy are these Wago connectors. These Wago connectors are also called lever nuts. A few things to know about these Wago connectors. I used about 50 of these 3-terminal Wagos in my van build, and about 10 of the 5-connector Wagos. The 5-conductor acts as a miniature 12-volt bus bar when you need to make several connections to 12 volts positive, 12 volts negative. This occurred in my build when I was making connections in my charging cabinet. I had several cigarette lighter outlets and USB ports in that cabinet, and the Wagos made it very easy. The Wagos are available in 2, 3, and 5 terminal. They can handle up to 20 amps and 300 volts, and you'll never exceed that in your van build. They're approved by the National Electrical Code and UL listed, so they're safe to use. It's not necessary for durability, but I've taken one of these micro zip ties and put it around the wires that go into the Wago connector when I know I'm done with the connector. That signals to me that I'm finished with that. On many of my Wago connectors, on the back, I put labels using that little label maker so I know what they're all for. Again, it makes it much less frustrating when you have a lot of connections all in one small space. To connect your LED lights is very simple using these Wagos. So what you're going to do is flip up the levers. Then you're going to connect negative to this one. So I'll take the negative from the LED lights, put it in one of those, and flip down the lever. Take the negative from power and put that in the next one and flip the lever down. Doesn't matter where you put these because this connection is all the same. It's just like you were twisting the wires together. So now I've got negative connected to this LED. So next we're going to do positive. So I decided in this extension cord I'm going to use white as positive. So I take the next Wago and I put this in the positive, flip that down, take the positive here, put it in there and flip this one down. So now I've got positive connected up to this LED strip. Now I've got 1 terminal left in these Wagos, and that is to connect the next set of LED lights in parallel. So to do that, I've got myself another little strip of wire, and of course it's very short for this demonstration. It's going to be as long as you need depending on where your LED lights are in your van. So I take my positive, which goes in this Wago connector, and I take the negative, goes in this one, and now I've got power that's running into this wire. So then I do the same thing. I get down to this LED light and I connect negative up, and just repeating the process, negative to negative, and then we connect the positives. Put the LED in here, flip that down, put the positive one in here, flip that one down, and again I've got two that are separate or left over, and I can connect my next wire. So I'll put the positive one in here, negative in here. And one of the great things about these Wago connectors is that I've got different gauge wire. These will take any gauge wire from 12 to 24 gauge. Then I go down to the last one in the series, and the last one is going to be a little bit different, because the last one I'm not going any further, so I can use one of these Wagos that has 2 terminals. But if you didn't have the 2-terminal Wago, it's okay. You could use the 3-terminal. It's not going to be a problem. So I'm going to put that one in negative, put this one in negative, flip those down, and look, I've got a 3-terminal one that happens to be here and handy, so I'm going to use the 3-terminal one. What's going to happen? The only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have one terminal empty, and that's okay. Now, if I had the 2-terminal one, which I do, I'm just doing this as a demonstration, I would not leave a terminal open, because then later if I come back and look at this, I would wonder, why did I do that? I would think something was missing. So there I go. I got my 3 LED lights set up. These are all in parallel, and now I need to apply power. So for this little demonstration, all I did was on the other side of the extension cord, I attached a 9-volt battery in snap, and if I connect that up, I have power to all my LEDs. And that's how simple it is. But wait, there's more. There's a few other things I want to tell you. The other thing I wanted to talk about are the water pumps. This is a spare water pump I keep in the van. This is the pump that I used when I created the prototype of the recirculating shower system in my garage. If you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. This pump is the spare. The other 2 pumps are the identical pumps in the van. One's for the recirculating shower, the other one is for the kitchen sink and the hose water. Now, what I did is at the end of these, I put in 2 connectors, so that it'll make it very easy to swap this pump out if it ever becomes necessary. I didn't use the Wago connector. The Wago connector would work fine for this application, but I know myself, and I might somewhere along the line need a Wago connector, and I'd probably steal it off my spare pump and forget about it. So to make it quick and easy to swap these out, I put on these spade connectors. The positive has the male end, the negative has the female end, and of course the power wire that comes in here has the reverse. For example, this is the male end, will plug into this one right here, and that provides negative. This is the female end, which goes into the positive. It's important that the female end be on your power wire, and the reason for that is if that power wire, that hot wire, hit against some metal in your van, it would short. So by putting the female end on there, the odds in that are pretty slim, and then that'd just plug in right there and you're good to go. It makes swapping the pumps out when someday it becomes necessary not an emergency, just a simple thing to do. Another good idea is to get some of this clear heat shrink tubing. Then use your label maker to make a label for each one of your wires. Put the heat shrink tubing over the wire, use your heat gun and shrink it down, and you'll have a nice waterproof label. Each one of the products mentioned in this video has a link in the video description. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Maybe I'll even make a video to answer your question. If you'd like to help the channel out, please subscribe, like this video, and hit that little notification bell. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll watch our next video.